Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, everybody. I am Gabriella, and this is our next episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. And oh my goodness, you guys, am I bringing you an awesome and amazing expert today, my friend Cheri Merz. Hi, Cheri.
Hi, Gab.
I'm so happy to have you here. I've known Cheri for, just about since the GabTalks brand came into existence. And Cheri came to some of the events that I was hosting, and we wound up becoming really good friends out of that. And I got to know her. And in fact, she used some of her expertise to help me and GabTalks brand move forward in our business. So I was so delighted and so excited to get to interview you today. Will you please share with our audience what it is that makes you the expert that you are?
Age. I'm an expert in self-publishing, which encompasses a lot of different things. Such as what to do before you write to attract your ideal audience, and all the way through to the professional production of your book and how to market it.
Absolutely. I know that I'm still not ready to write a book, but there's a lot of written content that I have published, and I know that I'm good at writing, but thanks to you, my published content looks great. So I super appreciate you. So will you please share with our audience a little bit about you and your background that led you to where you are today, that makes you that expert that you are?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Like many entrepreneurs, I started my business life in corporate. And at some point, I came to the realization that I didn't like it. So it took me a few minutes or months, or maybe years to discover what I really, really wanted to do and what that expertise meant for me. And I wound up writing about 30 fiction books, after which, for reasons that I could go into, but probably not here, led me into coaching.
Well, like I said, you've helped me take my writing from good to great, and you've given me some amazing coaching and guidance. And so I am exceptionally grateful to you, to everything that you've helped us with to help our brand actually get us visible, since our brand is all about helping others get visible. So I'm kind of like fangirling that I get to interview you today. I know some of those books that you've written, and I know that you've been on the top 10 bestseller of all books on Amazon, which is pretty awesome and not an easy feat. So before we started the interview, you and I were talking, and I just love the story that you have about what your inspiration was. Will you share that with our audience?
Absolutely. It started early in my life as an 8-year-old, barely 8-year-old. I was given for Christmas a novel, Little Women, and that started a lifelong love of reading. And by the time I was 13, I wanted to create those worlds that led people into the wonderful different places they could be. Obviously, I didn't live through the Civil War, so Little Women was a new world for me. And later it became science fiction and fantasy and other types of books. But by the time I was 13, I knew I wanted to write books. That did not happen. It didn't happen for about 50 years, which is another story altogether. But the love of reading, the love of the written word was what led me eventually to where I am today.
That's so inspirational. I loved reading when I was a teen as well. I could go through a book in like 2 days. Today, I wish I could read, and I don't have the attention span, which is very sad because I love books. Using your imagination and creating these worlds in your head is really, really actually healthy for us to do, much
Yes.
more than people realize. It's actually a really brain health thing that we should be doing more of. So
I agree.
yeah.
Later, I got into reading inspirational books, and I love history. I'm a very curious person. I got into reading physics books, physics textbooks, if you believe that. So all reading is valuable.
Yeah. So speaking of things that are valuable, if you were to go back and talk to your younger self, or, we have a certain segment of our audience that is young and just starting out, can you please share one piece of advice that you think would help them propel themselves closer to success that much faster?
I can, and I will. Do not give up on your dreams just because you think you're not good enough. You are good enough. Persist.
I love that. I love that. Hello, hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and take a moment to thank our sponsors. It is because of their generous support that we are able to bring to you all of these amazing experts, where we're able to interview them and get their best success tips for you. So please take a listen to what our sponsors have to say. Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you. You've all heard, and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to you now, and I'm going to ask you for some of your best tips for our audience that they can take away and go implement when they're finished listening to this interview.
Okay, so my first tip goes right along with what I just said. Don't give up. That's what kept me from writing for 50 years. Instead, my first tip is discover what you really enjoy. And then if you need to, go get a coach to help you make that into your business or your career. Learn all you can and implement what you're learning. A coach can cut that time from 50 years, in my case, to about 3, actually. When I finally came to the point where I knew what I wanted to be doing, I still had some learning to do. It had to do with online marketing, for example. The second tip I have is don't be afraid of tech. It's not going to kill you. It's not a flight or fight situation. Well, could be a fight situation. I've had those, but it's not something that you can't do. I'm going to reveal something that most women my age won't. I am 73 years old. I am still teaching myself software. Don't tell me that you can't do it as a young person, as a Gen Xer, as a boomer. You can. It's not that difficult, so don't let it frighten you.
Right.
You're going to need it to create a business. And the last tip I have is, if you enjoy corporate life, fine. If you don't, start a side gig and develop it into your full-time passion, because only you can care about your life like no other can.
So Cheri, I hope our audience really heard what you had to say today and is able to take that and do stuff with it. But I do know that a lot of them should be reaching out to you, because you are, again, such an amazing coach and you are so brilliant at what you do. So will you please let our audience know where it is that they can find out more information about you? And you guys, don't forget, the links will be in the show notes in the description below.
So where you can find out about me, where you can contact me, where you can get everything I offer free, and then some, is in my dynamic app, which is called MetaProsperity.
So we will make sure the link to the app is below. And I happen to know that in the app, there's going to be an offer for our audience as well. Would you like to share with our audience what that offer is?
Yes, I have a little ebook called Awaken Your True Calling. It took me so long to find mine. I don't want anyone else to have to take 50 years to find theirs. So I have an ebook that gives you tools to awaken your true calling so you can follow it.
Awesome. Well, you guys, I just want to take a moment to say thank you so much to Cheri for letting me interview you today and being our expert. I am so excited that you all get to meet one of my mentors and one of my experts that has helped our business and our brand really come alive. And make sure that you click on Cheri's link and reach out to her. Do not forget to click the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the reminder so that you get notified when our next episode is publishing. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.